Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the SCSRA National Series. Tonight, these Xfinity cars will be taking on Eldora Speedway for 60 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atmanweek, and I'm excited to call all the action here with the Big E30. Right now in practice, we see Cody Moore on the top of the board. He ran a 19.22. We see 500s behind him at second place, Logan Hagerman. And third, it is Will Witt, who in a 19.28. So we see right now top three all separated by less than a tenth, field all very close together. Now, last week we were at Martinsville. And we ended up seeing Cody Moore get his second win of the season. He led 137 laps. Oh, he led from flag to flag. He led every single lap. We saw Brian Udy ended up finishing second. Colin Willems ended up finishing third. That was a 1-2-3 for YXU Racing. We saw Michael Rosenberger ended up finishing fourth. And Devin Bucciano ended up finishing in fifth. And so after the fifth race of the season, we saw Brian Udy remains the points leader. He currently has a 8-point lead over second place Colin Willems. Third is Devin Bucciano. Fourth is Todd Mays. And fifth right now in points, it is Cody Moore, who is definitely, that win last week definitely helped him in that point standing. So anything can happen here tonight. This race is kind of a wild card track where I don't think there's really any favorites. It's anybody's game here tonight, and I'm just excited to see how this plays out. This is the first time that we have seen an SCSRA series on dirt. We haven't seen the trucks race at Eldora. We haven't seen the Xfinity cars race in Eldora, so this is new to this group of drivers. So I'm excited to see how these drivers handle it. It's really just a whole different driving style, a whole nother world of racing, and we're going to really see the cream rise to the top, the real drivers, because it takes a good driver to perform well here at these dirt tracks. Now look at the team standings. YXU Racing has absolutely dominated this season, winning 3 of the 5 races and finishing in the top 10 in every single race except for one. We see second is Neon Racing. Third right now in the team standings, it's Intensity Racing. Fourth is Cyclone. And fifth is Maze Mafia. And we do want to thank the series sponsor, Dev Sports Cards. There you can see their logo right there. And Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Bucciano. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs, from football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon. Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items, from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. Don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and he will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. We would also like to thank Isaiah Gill for putting up $50 to the winner. So not only these drivers fighting for points, fighting for the win, but they're also fighting for some money. And $50 on a Wednesday night, that is a pretty good payday. So another incentive to perform well here tonight. And qualifying is underway. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time, and that will determine who is going to start where in the heat races. Yes, there will be heat races tonight. Nobody will get eliminated. Everybody will make the feature, but the heat races will determine the starting order. So here we go. Coming to the green, we are watching Nick Mather in the number 16 machine. Mather looking for his first win of the season here tonight. He's got 1 top 5 this year, or this season. We see running that high lane. Oh, tacks the wall through 3 and 4. Here's Logan Hagerman in the 7 machine. He was fast in practice. We see Jeffrey Belk, first driver on the board. He ran a 20.14. Cody Moore to second with a 20.76. That will put Moore 6/10 off of first place Jeffrey Belk. Here's Josh Hall. We got David Hartney on track. Nick Mather getting ready to complete lap number 2. Remember, if you get any sort of damage in your qualifying lap, it will not count. See David Hartney to the top of the board. He ran a 20.04, putting him 900ths faster than second place Jeffrey Belk. Michael Rosenberger third with a 20.46. Top 3, all drivers new to the series. All drivers competing for Rookie of the Year. Here's Brandon White to P2. He ran a 20.12. That'll put White 700ths behind David Hartney. Here's Devin Bucciano on track right now in the 68 machine, looking to try to get his first win of the season. Brian Merle Jr. in the 74 on the backstretch right now. Heading through 3 and 4. Junior Nation on their feet. We see Dave Wright on track right now. He was also in the top 10 in practice. He's definitely a sleeper pick. Watch out for him. Running that high side through 3 and 4. You can definitely tell he's really driving that thing. Will Witt to the top of the board. He ran a 19.96, putting him 800ths faster than second place David Hartney. That driver right there in that number 35 Mac Tools machine is definitely my pick to win. Will Witt, very, very good on dirt. We've broadcasted 2 dirt series that he was in. The iOS Dirt Domination Series and Dirt Cars. Both series he performed very, very well in. I believe he's gotten wins in both series as well. So he is definitely going to be the favorite tonight. Will Witt, number 35, my pick to win. Watching Derek Chaput head through turns 1 and 2 onto the backstretch now. Chaput looking to try to get his first win of the season here tonight at Eldora. Brian Merle Jr. heading through 3 and 4. Oh, he tags the wall, so that, remember again, like I mentioned before, if you hit the wall, then you will get a penalty and your qualifying lap will not count. Here's Michael Rosenberger in the 3. I believe he has completed both of his lap times, but he's staying out a little bit extra, just getting a little bit extra practice time in. I think Eddie Morris is doing that same thing. You're going to need the practice, because, again, this track, new to this series. Devin Bucciano says, I need rookie stripes on the back of my car. I think pretty much everybody in the field tonight is going to need rookie stripes because, like I mentioned before, this is the first time that we have ever done this here in the SCSRA Xfinity or Truck Series. First time racing on dirt in either of the Trucks or Xfinity. So this is a new experience for a lot of people. So, Devin, you're not the only one, man. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still trying to get used to this. Thanks for tuning in. Wish you the best of luck, man. So I believe everybody who is going to qualify has qualified. This is going to be really, really fun to watch. Again, dirt racing, a whole nother world compared to the asphalt that these drivers are used to. I think we're going to see maybe some newer drivers in the top 5 here tonight that we wouldn't normally see. This should be fun. Top 3 is actually all drivers. Top 5. Top 10 is all drivers without wins this season. That is absolutely incredible. That just shows how this track is really going to change the field. There has been a lot of practice sessions throughout the week for drivers in this series to get some practice on this new track. And you'll definitely be able to see, you know, who was taking advantage of those practice sessions, who was not. Especially at a new track type, seat time, seat time, seat time is the key. And I know a lot of drivers in the field love running dirt on iRacing. Some drivers have never ran a lap on dirt before, so there's definitely varying dirt skill levels in the field tonight. Definitely the best part that we're going to be watching out for here in qualifying is going to be that evolving track. You're going to see first at the beginning of the race drivers running down on that a little bit lower on the track. But as the race goes on, we're going to see drivers getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to that outside wall. And that's called, and up there is called the cushion. And the cushion is just going to keep going up and up and up. The drivers want to stay with that cushion. Eventually, at the end of the race, the cushion will go away. The track will slick out. So drivers need to be prepared for that. So the track condition, the fact that the track evolves as the race goes on, that's going to be another interesting thing. Now, do you think these heat races are going to give us a little bit of a sneak peek at what we're going to expect for this race? But again, that 35 Will Witt, you got to watch out for him. He is going to be dangerous. So qualifying, getting ready to wrap up. Will Witt will end up winning the pole. And he is a 10th faster than second place. That is crazy. He's just on a whole nother level. That 35 machine. Remember, take this time to share that stream on Facebook and YouTube. It's free and it helps us out a ton. It supports the drivers, the league, the sponsors, and it's just greatly appreciated. It helps with the algorithm as well. So just make sure to do that. Hit that share button. Also, like on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. This is going to be fun. So here we go. First heat race. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one. We see Will Witt starting on the pole. He ran a 19.918, representing YXU Racing. Then in second, Brandon White in the 19. Third is Mark Shavers. Fourth is Devin Butchino. Rounding out your top 5, it is Dave Wright. Then in sixth, Cody Moore. 7th, Nick Mather. Rounding out your top 8, we have the 11 of Brett Merle. So I think All of these drivers are drivers that ended up finishing in the odd numbers in qualifying. So 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, and 15th. I may be wrong about how it was determined, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. No. So looks like here in this heat race, it is 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th, 16th, 19th, and 22nd. So get ready, 10 laps, no cautions, so if there's a wreck, we will just stay green. This will kind of give us a sneak peek of what we're going to see here in the race. Chance to give some drivers practice in a racing setting. This should be fun. So we are pacing here at Eldora. Again, Will Witt starting on the bottom, Brandon White starting on the top. 1st and 4th in qualifying make up that front row. That's right, I know I mentioned earlier in the stream, but again, thank you so much to Isaiah Gill and Gill's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria for sponsoring tonight's race. He put up $50 to the winner. So once again, not only are these drivers fighting for points and for the win, but they're also fighting for some money as well. So here we go, coming to the green flag. Pace truck will be pulling in. Here we go, coming to the green flag. Pace truck is in. Green flag out here at the Big E Eldora Speedway. 10 laps of racing action is underway. There we see Will Witt taking off. Brandon White running a little bit higher. He's trying to get by him. White right on the back bumper trying to set up the pass. He looks low as we head into 3 and 4. He's there. White with the nose coming off of turns 3 and 4. Still with the nose. Brandon White going to lead that first lap, running that bottom while Will Witt sticking it on that outside wall. Heading into 3 and 4, Brandon White still with the nose, but Will Witt trying to come back on that outside. They're pretty much equal here. Brandon White just ran the fastest lap time of the race. Oh! Trading a little bit of paint there in 1 and 2. And Will Witt is going to take that lead. We saw Brandon White push up, coming off of 2. That really slowed down his momentum. Looks like he's going to try to come back, though, continuing to run that bottom. Oh, almost hitting that inside wall there. That is going to slow him down. And Will Witt starting to extend that gap. Field pretty spread out as we have 6 laps to go here at the Big E. Definitely one of the most famous dirt tracks in the United States. It's been home to everything from sprint car racing to NASCAR to SRX. Brandon White coming back. He's looking low under Will Witt here as we head into turns 1 and 2. Oh, again, Brandon White tags that outside wall, and that is going to allow Will Witt to extend that lead once again. Brandon White does have the fastest lap time of the race with a 19.66. But Will Witt has been very, very consistent, which consistency key here on dirt. Besides this battle for the lead, the rest of the field is separated by a second. And we do see your leader, Will Witt, coming up on lap traffic. That is Nick Mather. Unlike most tracks, there we go, Nick Mather going down on that bottom, letting the leaders by. 2 laps to go now for Brandon White to try to get by Will Witt. And here we go, coming to the line. 1 lap to go here at Eldora Speedway. Can Will Witt get the heat race win? He is continuing to extend that gap over second place, Brandon White. Coming off of turns 3 and 4, Will Witt gonna take the heat race win here at Eldora. Brandon White finishes second. Cody Moore finishes third. He was the hard charger of the heat race. Mark Shavers takes fourth. Dave Wright ends up finishing fifth. Sixth was Brett Merle. Seventh, Devin Butchino. Eighth, Nick Mather. All right, we are getting set now for the second heat race. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one with a 20.042 in qualifying. It's DBC Sim Racing's David Hartney starting on the pole. Outside of him, it's Cyclone Racing's Jeffrey Belk in the 54. Third is another DBC Sim Racing driver, Michael Rosenberger, in the 3. Fourth is Waxy Racing's Colin Willems in the 17. And then running at your top 5, it's the Maze Mafia's Todd Mays in the 9. Sixth is Eli Raposa in the 46. Seventh is Intensity Broadcasting Zone, Josh Hall in 8th. Running at your top 8, it is Brian Merle Jr. We are pacing here at Eldora. Here's how the starting lineup was determined. We see, so 5th is starting on the pole. Or no, it goes 2nd, 5th, 8th, 11th, 14th, 17th, and then the rest of the field after that. So here we go, coming to the green flag. Another 10-lap heat race again. No cautions. So if there's a wreck, we will just keep on racing. Pace car is in. Green flag out here at Eldora. David Hartney taking off. He's got Jeffrey Belk on that outside as we head into turns 1 and 2. Jeffrey Belk still there trying to set up a pass, running all the way up against that wall. Michael Rosenberger getting on, running that bottom. He is able to get by Belk, and now we see Rosenberger looks to the outside of Hartney. Driver slipping, sliding, coming off of turn number 4. Rosenberger running all the way up against that outside wall. Looks like he tags it there. That's going to allow Hartney to extend that gap. Side by side for second, Jeffrey Belk trying to look under that number 3 machine. Belk with the nose. We're, 3 wide contact. We see David Hartney getting into the outside wall. Running that wall. We see side by side for second. Here comes Colin Willems on the outside. Willems to the rear quarter panel of Hartney now. Making contact on the front stretch. What a heat race. David Hartney into the outside wall. Colin Willems to the lead. He's got Michael Rosenberger looking below him. Rosenberger, number 3, trying to run that bottom and trying to get by Colin Willems. Colin Willems running up against that wall, running on the cushion. You see Brian Merle Jr. just running the fastest lap time of the heat race with a 19.79. He's currently running in 5th. Josh Hall trying to get by Eli Raposa for this 6th place spot. 5 laps to go. Michael Rosenberger once again looking under Colin Willems for this 1st place spot. 19.48 last time by for Michael Rosenberger, looking very fast. Your pole sitter David Hartney fell to 3rd after that crazy sequence of events there, trying to work his way back up to the front. Willems just ran a 19.44, but as I say that, looks like he gets into the outside wall. Rosenberger taking advantage of that, getting a great run on the bottom once again. 3 laps to go now for Michael Rosenberger. Looks like he got a little bit loose there coming off of turn number 2. That's going to slow him down. Josh Hall trying to get by Eli Raposa for this 6th place spot. We see Raposa into the outside wall. Hall able to get by to the 6th place spot now. Final lap. Colin Willems, hard charger of the race, started in the 4th place spot. Was able to have a decently mistake-free race. Able to get by Rosenberger. Hartney and Belk took the lead. Led the rest of the way. Coming off of turn number 4, Colin Willems is going to win heat race number 2. Michael Rosenberger finishes 2nd. David Hartney, your pole sitter, finishes 3rd. Jeffrey Belk takes 4th. Brian Merle Jr. finishes 5th. It's Josh Hall in 6th. Eli Raposa in 7th. And then we saw Todd Mays finish 8th. Alright, it is now time for the 3rd heat race. We see Brian Nudie starting on the pole. He ran a 20.063 in qualifying, representing YXU Racing in the 40. Then outside of him, it's Eddie Morris. 3rd is Mays Mafia's Kyle Mays in the 55. 6th is 2 pedals, 1 clutches, Michael Provolt in the 95. And then rounding out your top 5, it is Intensity Broadcasting Zone, Joe Wright in the 82. 6th is Intensity Racing Team's Logan Hagerman in 7th. Then in 7th, he's the 7, he's in 6th. 7th is Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. And then rounding out your top 8, last but not least, it's Neon Racing's Derek Chaput. So Brian Nudie qualified 3rd in this race. So in this heat race, it's in qualifying 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th, 15th, 18th, 20th. So this should be interesting. Brian Nudie starting on the bottom. Eddie Morris starting on the top. This is 3rd and 6th in qualifying. Pace car in. And green flag out here at Eldora Speedway. 10 laps of racing action is underway. There we see Brian Nudie taking off. We see side by side for 2nd. We see Eddie Morris getting a great run on that outside. Running up against that wall. There we go. We see Nudie working his way up to that outside now, defending that 1st place spot, trying to hold off Eddie Morris. Morris looking low now as we head into turns 1 and 2. We're seeing a lot of drivers tagging that outside wall. You don't want to do that. We see Eddie Morris getting a great run on that bottom. Coming off of turns 3 and 4. He is under Brian Nudie. That time by, Morris ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 19.56. We see Brian Nudie just ran a 19.35. Starting to extend that gap a little bit over Eddie Morris. Morris getting a good run, though, coming off of turn number 2. Both drivers running that cushion. Eddie Morris looking low as we head into turns 1 and 2. Morris had the nose, but he can't quite get there. Sending it once again here in 3 and 4. That 8 machine, Eddie Morris trying to take that lead. Ran a 19.29 last time by. But once again, Nudie starting to extend that gap side by side between Derek Chaput and Logan Hagerman. Side by side between these two, we see Hagerman running that outside lane, but we see tags the outside wall a little bit there. Derek Chaput continuing to run that bottom, trying to make that pass down there. So right now the whole field separated by at least 0.3. Brian Nudie just ran the fastest lap from the heat race with a 19.27. Logan Hagerman trying to get back by Derek Chaput for this for this 5th place spot. Oh, we see Hagerman tagging the outside wall there. That is going to slow down his momentum. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence trying to get by Hagerman here. Oh, we see contact. Hagerman, Chaput getting it together. We see Cheeseburger gets involved. Final lap, Brian Nudie heading through turns 1 and 2. Got a 1 second lead over 2nd place, Eddie Morris. Great heat race for Brian Nudie, able to hold off Eddie Morris. He gets the heat race win. We see Eddie ends up finishing 2nd. Kyle Mays takes 3rd. Joe Wright finishes 4th. Logan Hagerman takes 5th. Michael Provolt finishes 6th. Michael Lawrence finishes 7th. And then rounding out your top 8, it is Derek Chaput. And there we go, fireworks going off. We are getting set for your feature event. Here's a look at the starting lineup determined by the heat races. Starting on the pole, winner of heat race number 1, it is YXU Racing's Will Witt in the 35. Outside of him, it's his YXU Racing teammate Colin Willems in the 17, starting 2nd. Then starting in 3rd, it's another YXU Racing driver, Brian Nudie in that 40 machine. 4th is Brandon White. Rounding out your top 5, it is DBC Sim Racing's Michael Rosenberger in the 3. 6th is Eddie Morris in the 8. And 7th, it's Cody Moore in the 52. 8th is DBC Sim Racing's David Hartney in the 43. 9th is Mays Mafia's Kyle Mays in the 55. Rounding out your top 10, it is Mark Shavers. In 11th, we have Cyclone Racing's Jeffrey Belk. 12th is Intensity Broadcasting Zone Joe Wright. 13th is Dave Wright. 14th is Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. And then rounding out your top 15, it's Intensity Racing Team's Logan Hagerman in the 7. 16th is Neon Racing's Brett Merle in the 11. 17th is Intensity Racing Team's Josh Hall in the 81. 18th is 2 Pedals 1 Clutch's Michael Provolt in the 95. 19th is Neon Racing's Devin Butchino in the 68. And then running at your top 20, it is Dirtbag Racing's Eli Raposa in the 46. 21st is Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. 22nd is Nick Mather. 23rd, Todd Mays. 24th, Derek Chaput. 24 cars in the field tonight. Only one can win and get that $50. Who will it be? Will Witt starting on the bottom. Colin Willems starting on the top. Here we go. 60 laps of racing action. 30 miles. Pace car is in. And green flag out here at the Biggie Eldora Speedway. Will Witt taking off side by side, coming into 1 and 2. We see Brian Nudie looking low under Will Witt, running that bottom lane. See drivers getting into the outside wall. Brian Nudie getting a great run on that bottom, and the first caution of the race is out. So it is now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Let's see exactly what happened here. We did not complete a lap. So a lot of drivers fanning out. Let's take a look at what happened here. So here we're watching David Hartney in the 43. We see Eddie Morris tags that outside wall, comes down into Cody Moore. Moore comes down into Jeffrey Belk, and this is just going to create this domino effect. Mark Shavers gets involved. We see Belk pushes up into Eddie Morris. Joe Wright nowhere to go except for into the back bumper of David Hartney. So that is unfortunate there, especially for Eddie Morris there. A lot of damage on that 8 machine. We are getting ready to go back green here. Brian Nudie restarting on the top. Will Witt restarting on the bottom. $50 on the line. Points. And the win. Getting ready to restart. Pace car is in. Green flag back out there. We see Will Witt taking off. We see Nudie getting a good run on that outside. Here's Michael Rosenberger running well in that outside lane. He is side by side with Brandon White. See Colin Willems looking low under Michael Rosenberger for the 4th place spot. We see second caution of the race is out. Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind coming up here. Here's a look at what happened. We are watching Josh Hall in the 81. We see they were wrecking in front of him. Logan Hagerman, Dave Wright get into each other. Hagerman comes down the track into Hall. That's going to send him around into the inside fence, damaging that front nose. Fortunate there for Josh Hall. So we are back under caution here. Brian Nudie in the short little green flag run that we did have, he led all of that. Question is, will we have a long green flag run, or will it just stay like this, caution after caution? Lights on the pace truck are out. We are getting ready to go back green here. Brian Nudie is going to elect to restart on the bottom. Will Witt will be restarting on the top. Then behind them, it's Brandon White, Michael Rosenberger. Pace car is in. Green flag back out there. We see Brian Nudie taking off side by side for second between Brandon White and Will Witt. We see White with the nose as we head through turns 1 and 2. Running well on that bottom lane. Still has the nose as we head through turns 3 and 4. We see Brandon White able to get clear. White now to that second place spot. We are side by side for third between Will Witt and Michael Rosenberg. And we see Will Witt trying to get back by Brandon White. He does. Will Witt to the second place spot now once again. And third caution of the race is out. Take a look here at the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to see exactly what happened. Let's watch what happened here. We see Todd May side by side with his teammate Mark Shavers. And it looks like they're... Mays kind of... It looked like if you watch Mays' left side tires, he does seem to come down a little bit. So the two make contact. We see Mays drifts up the track into Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Has nowhere to go. That's going to send both of them around. Definitely unfortunate there for Todd Mays. It's been not all bad, though, for Mays Mafia Racing. We see Kyle Mays currently sitting in the 7th place spot. But lights on the pace truck are off. We're getting ready to go back green here. Nudie, where is he going to elect to restart? He elects to restart on the bottom. Will Witt restarting on that high side. Behind them, Brandon White, Michael Rosenberger. Pace truck pulling in. And green flag back out here at Eldora. There we see Brian Nudie taking off side by side for second between Brandon White, Will Witt. We see Will Witt with the nose on that outside lane. And Will Witt trying to reel in Brian Nudie for this first place spot. Will looking low, looking to the bottom. Witt with the nose, side by side, coming off of turns 3 and 4. Brian Nudie still with the nose on that outside. We see Will Witt, and the 4th caution of the race is out. It's now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like we were 3 wide between Intensity Racing Team teammates Joe Wright, Dave Wright, Logan Hagerman. Oh, looks like both of the Wright brothers make contact. But they're able to keep going, and then we see Cody Moore spins in front of them. Looks like both of them were actually able to make it through, but Cody Moore, Brian Merle Jr. go around. We see Jr. drift down the track right in front of Josh Hall. That is unfortunate. Cody Moore definitely getting most of the damage. Has a torn up number 52 machine. Unfortunate for him, he had a very, very fast car. There's still a lot of time for him to work his way back up to the field, however. Getting ready to go back green here. Brian Nudie elects to restart on the bottom. Will Witt choosing to restart on the high side. Behind them, it's Brandon White, Michael Rosenberger. Pace car is in. And green flag back out here at Eldora. There we see Brian Nudie taking off side by side for second between Brandon White, Will Witt. We see Witt with the nose on the outside lane. He's reeling in now Brian Nudie for the first place spot. Nudie almost getting into the outside wall there. We see Will sending it here in 3 and 4, running that low lane. Nudie still with the nose. But Will Witt right there. He has the nose as we head through turns 1 and 2. Will Witt just ran the fastest lap of the race. Brian Nudie fighting back on that outside, however. He is able to get back clear, but Will Witt sending it once again here in 3 and 4. Brian Nudie going to lead that lap, but Will Witt continuing. We see the 5th caution of the race is out. Eddie Morris having a very, very rough race tonight. He was involved in this most recent incident. We see Dave Wright tags the outside wall, pushes up the track right in front of Eddie Morris, who just has nowhere to go, and this is going to check up the field. Raposa gets into the back of Morris. We see Shavers gets involved. Brett Merle gets involved. Todd Mays has nowhere to go. He's also at a rough race here tonight. We see Michael Lawrence getting involved. Unfortunate there. A lot of the field getting involved in that one. So Brian Nudie remains the leader. We get ready to go back green. Lights on the pace truck are off. Brian Nudie restarting on the bottom. Will Witt restarting on the top. Behind them, it's Michael Rosenberger, Jeffrey Belk. That last green flag run, Brandon White ended up falling to the 8th place spot. Pace car is in, green flag is back out there. We see Brian Nudie taking off side by side for second between Michael Rosenberger, Will Witt. We see Will Witt with the nose on the outside lane. And he is able to get clear. Now Will Witt setting his sights on your leader, Brian Nudie, resuming the battle that these two had going on before that caution flag came out. Saw Brian Nudie tag the outside wall a little bit there. Jeffrey Belk reeling in Michael Rosenberger for this 3rd place spot. Belk running that outside lane. We see Will Witt right there on the back bumper of Brian Nudie. We are 25 laps through this thing. We see Will Witt looking low under that 40 machine, side by side between the two, heading through turns 1 and 2. Will Witt. Oh, and we see the caution flag is out. 6th one of the night. It is now time for the wreckage rewind. So here's Michael Lawrence. Oh, we see there's contact ahead of him between, it looks like that's Mark Shavers, one of the DBC sim racing cars. I believe Eli Raposa. We see Shavers just, hard into that inside fence there. And that is what will bring out the 6th caution. So look at the current top 5 as it stands. Brian Nudie in 1st. 2nd place is Will Witt. 3rd, we have Michael Rosenberger. 4th is Jeffrey Belk. And then rounding out your top 5, we have David Hartney. Lights on the pace truck are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. All right, Brian Nudie restarting on the bottom. Will Witt restarting on the top. Behind them, it's Michael Rosenberger, Jeffrey Belk. Here we go, coming to the green. Green flag back out here at Eldora. There we see Brian Nudie taking off. We see side by side for second between Will Witt, Michael Rosenberger. We see Witt with the nose running that outside lane. And we were not even able to complete a lap before the caution flag comes back out. Let's take a look at what happened. So here we go. We're watching David Hartney here. He's 3 wide with Kyle Mays, Colin Willems. It's like heading into 1 and 2. Hartney cars just breaks loose. Barely misses hitting Colin Willems, but he comes down the track into Kyle Mays. Joe Wright looks like is able to get through, but we see Derek Chaput not so lucky. Dave Wright getting involved. Devin Butchino getting involved. Hartney into the outside wall, getting some rear end damage that time. That 43, heavy damage. But we are getting ready to go back green here. Brian Nudie restarting on the bottom. Will Witt restarting on the top. Behind them, it's Rosenberger, Jeffrey Belk. And green flag back out there. We see Brian Nudie taking off. We see side by side for second. Michael Rosenberger, Will Witt. Will Witt with the nose coming off of turn number 2. Still at the nose, running that high lane. And we see he's able to get under Brian Nudie. Now we're actually 3 wide for the lead now. Will Witt right there on the back bumper of Nudie. Oh, we see Brian Nudie tags the outside wall. That's going to open the door for Will Witt. He gets a great run on the bottom, takes the lead. Will Witt to the lead, and caution flag comes out. Will Witt, definitely the favorite to win tonight's event. Lost the lead for a little bit, but he was able to get it back just in time for the caution flag to come out. So we were 3 wide here between Todd Mays, Devin Butchino, Michael Provolt. We see there's contact in front of him. Dave Wright gets loose and goes around. Slides down right into Brian Merle Jr. Brian Merle Jr. goes around. Brett Merle gets involved. Cody Moore gets involved. Devin Butchino getting damage. And it looks like Todd Mays was able to just drive right through there. Dave Wright, David Hartney, both of them having rough races tonight. They both come in, take fast repairs, it looks like. So we are getting ready to go back green here. Will Witt will elect to restart on the outside, so he will have Brian Nudie restarting below him. Then behind them, it is Jeffrey Belk, Michael Rosenberger. Pace truck is in. Green flag back out there. We see Will Witt taking off. We see side by side for second between Brian Nudie, Michael Rosenberger. Rosenberger with the preferred lane, that outside. We see Nudie with the nose, but Rosenberger coming back on that outside, running that. Oh, and we see another caution flag is out. Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Let's see what happens. Oh, we see Eddie Moore's big run here in 1 and 2. Gets into the back of Michael Provolt. And that is going to send him around into the outside wall. I don't know if they had different, braking, lifting, getting back into the gas zones. It just looked like Eddie a little bit faster than Provolt, but couldn't find a way to get around him and just got into his back bumper there. Brett Merle having a rough race. He ends up having to come into the pits. Looks like he is going to fall a lap down if he doesn't exit the pits. All right, lights on the pace truck are off. Getting ready to go back green here. Will Witt elects to restart on the outside, so Michael Rosenberger will be restarting below him. Looks like Rosenberger with a little bit of a nose over Nudie when that caution flag came out. Pace truck in, and green flag back out. There we see Will Witt taking off, but he's got Michael Rosenberger right there on his back bumper. Rosenberger looking low under that 35 machine. Trying to set up the pass. We got a battle for third. Kyle Mays, Jeffrey Belt, both trying to get by Brian Nudie here. Side, we see Colin Willems there as well. Kyle Mays getting into the outside wall. See Jeffrey Belk sliding all the way to the bottom of the track. Kyle Mays trying to set up a pass on Colin Willems here. And the field's starting to get spread out. This may be the longest green flag run that we have had. Logan Hagerman, oh, and as I say that, I might have just jinxed it. Another caution flag is out. As soon as I see this, I find one issue in that we are 4 wide. Got Josh Hall is the first car on the high side, then it's Michael Lawrence, then it's Eddie Morris, then it's David Hartney. We see Hall tags the outside wall, so does Brian Merle Jr., and Merle just slides down into Cheeseburger right in front of Dave Wright. Dave Wright goes around. There goes Devin Butchino going by. His car looks more like a modified than an Xfinity car. Looks like he's in the pits right now getting that issue fixed. Lights on the pace truck are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. Will Witt will elect to restart on the outside. Michael Rosenberger restarting below him. Then it's Jeffrey Belk, Brian Nudie. Pace car in. Green flag back out here at Eldora. There we see Will Witt taking off, but he's got Michael Rosenberger trying to look low under him as we head through turns 1 and 2. Witt with the nose coming off the corner. Looks like he is able to get clear of Rosenberger. Brian, oh, we see big wreck up front. Caution flag is out. Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. See exactly what happened here. So we see Jeffrey Belt tags the outside wall. And then, look at that right there. Looks like Nudie washes up the track a little bit coming off of turn number 2 as well. So that's really going to get the 54 upset. He hits the outside wall again, this time spinning the 54 around. Again, Nudie gets involved. Colin Willems gets involved. believe that's Kyle Mays, Mark Shavers. But it looks like he's stuck to that outside wall, so everybody else is able to go low and avoid him. Getting ready to go back green here. Will Witt restarting on the top. He's going to elect to restart on the top. Then below him, it's Michael Rosenberger, Colin Willems, Cody Moore behind them. To put this in perspective, Cody Moore, who is in 4th, doesn't have a front bumper on. Derek Chaput, who is in 6th, also does not have a front bumper on. This race has been wild. Pace truck in. Green flag back out there. We see Will Witt taking off. We see Michael Rosenberger once again trying to look under that 35 machine. We see Will Witt able to get clear. We see, oh! Whoa! And another big wreck up front. Oh! Cars flipping on their lids. Another caution flag is out. Now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. There were cars on their lid, and when that happens, you know that is not good. Wow. That was... wow. Let's play the clip here. We were side by side between Michael Rosenberger, Cody Moore. Ooh. We see coming off of 2 here. Looks like Rosenberger maybe pushes up a little bit there. That's going to send Moore into the outside wall. See Moore, both front tires getting air. Then we see both right side tires getting some air time. And then we see Chaput, Hagerman all comes piling in, Joe Wright. And we see Rosenberger, Moore both getting on their lids. Wow. Into the tires. That was wild. Getting ready to go back green here. Will Witt will elect to restart on that high side. Look at this. Logan Hagerman, not a front bumper on that 7 machine, but he is in the top 3. Wow. There should be video. Green flag back out there. We see Will Witt taking off. We see side by side for second between Colin Willems, Brandon White. Brandon White side by side. Logan Hagerman. We see Hagerman with the nose on that outside. And more cars going around. 13th caution of the race. Yeah, I don't know, Colton. On my end, it looks like everything is running smoothly. I don't know. Let me know if it continues. So we see David Hartney getting into that outside wall. Hits it not once, but twice. Then he fully goes around this time. Just like nobody else gets into him, but definitely unfortunate. Gets just a lot of damage on that 43 machine. Unfortunate for him because he was having a great race. Started this race in 8th. Lights on the pace truck are out. We're getting ready to have a green-white checkered here. Will Witt restarting on the outside. Below him, it's teammate Colin Willems. This is it for $50. Pace truck in. Green flag back out. There we see Will Witt taking off, but he's got Colin Willems right on his back bumper. Remember, Colin Willems started second. If Will Witt makes it one lap to go, next flag ends the race. We see Eli Raposa. Oh, cars into the... Let's see. Final lap, so no caution will come out. Will Witt, 8/10 lead over second place Brandon White. Eddie Morris runs third. We see Logan Hagerman looking low under Morris side by side for the third place spot. Hagerman with the nose through 3 and 4. Eddie Morris will cross the line in third. Brandon White finishes second, and Will Witt gets the win here at Eldora Speedway. He wins the big E30, and he will be taking home $50. What a race there. And what a comeback for Eddie Morris, a driver who struggled early on, kept getting in wreck after wreck, lost his front bumper, ends up finishing in the top 3. And Will Witt burning it down here at Eldora Speedway. The man from Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin. First win of the season for that 35 machine. 4th win for YXU Racing. And he is going to mosey on down to victory lane. Going up on that. There we go. Climb on up there, Will. There he is, going to victory lane. Sitting on the pedestal. And we got third place finisher Eddie Morris now in the waiting room. We'll go ahead and pull him in. Eddie, this is Atlee in the broadcasting room. Do you have a copy?
Hey, brother. How's it going?
Going pretty good in here at the booth. And boy, did you have a roller coaster race here tonight. At the beginning of the race, there wasn't a wreck where we didn't say your name. It felt like you just kept getting in wreck after wreck after wreck. We saw you go in, take a faster pair, got the damage fixed, tried to work your way up to the field. Then we saw you lost your front bumper in the process. And then in those last, 10 to 5 laps, we saw a lot of the leaders wrecking. You were able to make it through some of the wrecks. And we saw you made your way to you were restarting in 4th there on that last restart. You were battling side by side with Logan Hagerman there, and it was a photo finish between you two, but you were able to inch out that 3rd place finish. I mean, roller coaster race, but great result. What was your take on this race?
First of all, I'm just glad it's over. We do still have to come back here in the trucks, though, so I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not, but it should be fun, right? But for tonight, though, I don't know what was going on with that first lap. I think Cody just sent it in there and didn't know I was on the outside or something, and I got a meatball flag from that, and that caution saved me there. So after I used my faster pair, I just hung out in the back and let everybody do their thing. And a couple times I tried to make it up through there and just got took out from people sending it in way too hard and driving way over their head. But I mean, it's not something we do all the time, so you want to be fast. You don't show up for these things just to log laps, so it's kind of understandable a little bit. And we'll just take this and be thankful we got to talk to you there, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. I believe, is this your first top 3 of the season?
I have no idea.
Let me look at the...
Didn't tell you, buddy.
Let me look at the stat sheet here. This is your first top 5 and first top 3. So congratulations, and you got it at Eldora of all places. How does it feel?
I'd have never guessed it. That's for sure. I mean, I was pretty quick here, in practice and stuff, and I figured everything else added in. I wasn't expected getting, clobbered on the first lap there, and had to dig out of a hole to begin with. So I kind of wasn't expecting that. I knew I had a fast car. Just staying out of trouble was the key.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Man, Intensity Broadcasting, the best broadcasters in the business. Morris Customs, Coctagon Camping. Shout out to Dev Sports Cards for coming on and being the main title sponsor for our Xfinity series here, and shout out to Fortuna Iron also for coming on board and being the title sponsor for the truck series as well.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight, Eddie. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, brother. You too.
Yep, thank you. All right, we're now going to pull in your second place finisher. It's the 19 from Eureka, California, Brandon White. Brandon, it's Atlee in the broadcasting room. Do you have a copy? Brandon, this is Atlee in the broadcasting room. Do you have a copy? It's like we were having issues getting Brandon in there. So we will wait just a second and try it again. So it looks like we're going to have hey guys, I think we're having the issue again where it's going to mute everybody if I try to pull you into the broadcast room. So I'm just going to do the interviews here. Brandon, you got a copy?
I do. How's it going?
Going pretty good up here in the booth. Looks like it was going pretty good for you out there on track. I know you're running the top 4 for the first portion of the race. Then we saw you fell back a little bit. We're just logging laps there, avoiding the wrecks. And then eventually we saw a lot of the wrecks happen up front. You were able to drive through it, and then you were restarting second there on that last restart, trying to get by Will, but you just couldn't quite get there. You were able to hold off Eddie Logan, though, and ended up taking that second place spot. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Tonight was wild, to say the least. Let's just say that. Other than that, it was good. I just tried to keep the nose clean as much as I could, and it didn't really pay off too well about midway through when I was trying to keep up with Will and them, and I started running out of talent and hitting the inside wall, and then I got some help from some other people. And then next thing you know, I'm running side by side, and there's a wreck in front of me, and I'm trying to avoid it, and I got into Derek, so I apologize for that if that was my fault. But yeah, other than that, it ended up being a good night, so I'm not stressing. I feel like this year's going to be good. I don't know if I already missed a race. I probably did already miss a race.
So far this season, you've missed 3 races.
Oh, man, I missed 3. All right, never mind.
Now, coming into the race, I know this is the first time that this league has ever done this. Coming into this race, how much dirt experience had you had?
On here, I think I'm a C class, so I have a decent amount, and I've raced 6 years of dirt in real life, and so I feel like I got a decent amount, and it seemed to pay off a little bit.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Canudi and everybody that run the league, thank you for doing this. It's fun. I look forward to it every day, or not every day, but every race day. So, thank you.
Well, again, congratulations on your first top 5 of the season. Have a great rest of your night, Brandon.
Thank you. Good job, Will.
Speaking of Will Witt, we were getting ready to pull him in. The man from Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Will, you got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, what a win here at Eldora. I know coming into this thing, I said it time and time again, you were the favorite to win the race. Definitely have the most dirt experience out of all of the drivers in the field tonight, and you really, really showed it. Started on the pole, but early on, you actually lost the lead to Brian Nudi and was riding around in second for a little bit. But we saw a couple of mistakes from Nudi, and you were able to get back by him. And after that, you led the rest of the way. Were able to hold off Brandon at the end there and got your first win this season here at Eldora. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good, actually. I know I had a lot of pressure going into this. There was a lot of people who were saying I had to win this one because I did have the most dirt experience. So But yeah, early on with losing that lead to Brian and just all those quick cautions, I mean, it was frustrating, just being stuck there and stuck there and stuck there. And finally, he made a little mistake, and I was able to just throw a hard slider in there and get around him, and was able to just hold it there from then on out.
Now, I know I've announced countless races with you, from dirt cars to iOS Dirt Domination Series. How has that experience helped in tonight's event?
Oh, it helped a ton. I had a lot of people reaching out and kind of asking, what little tricks to do here and there, and where to run at certain points of the track, or certain points of the track state when the cushion starts to build up. So I believe it definitely had a lot of experience, had a lot to do with it. I mean, there were some fast guys though. Rosenbaum was there all night, or Berger, sorry, I know somebody else with that name. Nudie was fast all night. Colin was even there at the end. Brandon was fast in the heat. So I mean, it wasn't an easy win, but it was definitely one that I felt I should be able to win.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to thank for your win?
Oh, for sure. First and foremost is Mick over at Falcon Graphics for making me this sick Mac Tools paint scheme. Everybody over at YXU, Cody, Colin, Brian, Nick was there early on. He left early. Everybody in the league for at least coming in and trying to give this whole dirt thing a shot. I know we're going to go back here in a couple weeks with the trucks. I'm hoping this gives guys experience and we can have a better run then. This wasn't the greatest showing for the league, but hey, it is what it is. It's a new experience, and we'll learn from it, move on to the next one, and hopefully can repeat next week.
And also, because of Isaiah Gill, you also got that $50. What do you think you're going to do with it?
Oh, man. Honestly, I'm probably going to donate it back to the league. Brian does a ton of work running this thing, puts in a lot of hours making sure this league runs and everybody's happy with it. So I'll probably honestly just donate it back to him and say, here, use it for the league.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the first win of the season. Hopefully we might see a couple more throughout the season, and have a great rest of your night, Will.
All right, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's event. One more time, congratulations to Will Witt for getting the win. I want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the broadcast here tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Thank you to Dev Sports Cards for helping support this league, sponsoring this league. Make sure to visit them on eBay and go get yourself some sports cards or Pokemon cards and help support someone who supports our hobby. Also, make sure to visit our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. Always dropping polls, interacting with our viewers on there. And also make sure to check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There you can find merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, all the amazing leagues that we broadcast. There's shirts, hats, mugs, mouse pads, stickers, photo paper posters on there. And make sure to especially check out the SCSRA collection, where you can purchase an SCSRA t-shirt, which comes in 5 different colors and sizes from extra small to 5XL. You can also get SCSRA stickers that comes in different sizes, and then SCSRA photo paper poster that you can get as well. So make sure to check that out. And I'm Atlee Atman-Weist on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and